So my name's Patrick Whiting. I live in Portland, Oregon in the United States, and I've been learning Khmer for a little over 5 years now. Yeah, so my wife came here about 5 years ago from Cambodia. She speaks perfect English, but what I wanted to be able to do was to be able to interact with her family when they're speaking Khmer without them having to translate things to English for me. And I also wanted to be able to respond to them in Khmer when they're speaking. So that was sort of how I started things. One of the other things that I wanted to do was to make sure that I could speak the language well enough that when we had kids that we would be able to speak the language with our children, both her and me, to keep them connected to their cultural roots as being the children of, a person who's an immigrant. I really like the platform. I've learned Khmer in a variety of different settings. I've done it in a classroom setting, both through community organizations and also through college level classes. I've also done some online learning to supplement my classroom education, and I think the thing that I really like about ReanKhmer versus other platforms that I've used is its focus on the Khmer script. A lot of other platforms tend to dodge this and work using the Romanized alphabet, which I don't think is nearly as effective for learning proper pronunciation, and certainly not effective for learning how to read and write. I also think that it's just so convenient to have an actually strong language learning app present that you can turn to at any moment of any day and learn a little bit, as opposed to having to wait for classroom instruction. I think that's also very valuable.
Some nang la'o.
Some nang la'o.
Another thing that is great about ReanKhmer is that it focuses pretty strongly on Khmer culture and the way that the language interacts with the culture of Cambodian people. And I think that that's something that you really don't see at all in like an app-based or software-based learning solution. A lot of times that focuses just on the vocabulary and grammar or what have you, and it doesn't really focus very strongly on the cultural context of what it is that you're learning. And I think that's a really beneficial thing to have in the app itself.